welcome to the Bearded Horror Review. My name is Dan, aka the Boogey Man, and I've realised I'm still wearing my glasses. And on this show, I'll watch a horror movie, either a classic or a new release, talk about some good points, talk about some bad points, if there are any of either, give it a rating out of 10 if I remember to do it, and let you know if I think the film is worth a watch or not, in my humble opinion. And I'm back doing full reviews after I've had a bit of a break because I had to move really suddenly and I couldn't set up a studio space, but I've set up this temporary studio space. And if you've watched any of my reaction videos, I've done a couple since being in here, you'll know that it seems to work all right. So let's do some reviews done. And on this episode, I'm going to be talking about Sinners. I did a reaction on Sinners a little while ago now. It just kind of, the trailer popped up in my feed when I was just looking through, new horror movie trailers and stuff, and it just came up. It just really grabbed my eye, and I thought it looked really interesting, and I finally got to see it. So yeah, we're going to talk about it. Before we carry on, guys, if you can leave a like and subscribe if you are enjoying these reviews and my reactions and the other stuff I do on the channel. It's a little thing for you, but it really helps me out, and it means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it.
Y'all ready to sweat till y'all stank?
So, Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan and Michael C. Jordan.
You twins? Nah, we cousins.
That's such a bad dad joke. Because he plays two characters. Yeah, it is a movie that is, well, it's set in the aftermath of, I think it's World War II, maybe World War I. I'm not sure. I never looked these things up, but it's after a war. And it's set in the American South, I believe, where two twin brothers, Smoke and Stack, went away to Chicago, made a bunch of money, and they've come back to their hometown, and they want to buy an old sawmill and set up a juke joint and make a name for themselves, make a home for themselves. And during the night, some stuff happens, and that's as much as I'm going to say at this point. Before I carry on with the full review, I'm going to say spoilers. I try to avoid talking about anything, especially with this movie. I don't want to get into any specifics or anything like that, really. But for me to talk about it in depth, there may be spoilers. So if you don't want to know anything about it at all, spoilers, here's your spoilers. So yeah, I really was looking forward to this film when I did that trailer reaction. It was new, it was different, it was just intriguing. And I've got to say, after seeing the film, it's all there. It's just a really good film. I'm going to say it right now, right off the bat. This is a good film. Much like my Nosferatu review where I talked about having these new looking and sounding films with good stories that don't need massive budgets. We've got one. This is a fantastic film. It is so different from your everyday horror film. It is a breath of fresh air, and it's doing really well at the box office, and with good reason, because it is just a good film. Michael B. Jordan is great in it as the two characters. They do seem really distinct, even though they are played by the same person. The whole cast of this film are just firing on all cylinders. And it's just a good time. And it's a film that isn't just about a bunch of people going somewhere and getting killed. This film is about community, identity, freedom, and about the transcendental properties of music and what that can do for good or evil, and what being true to oneself really is. That's a lot for a film, a horror film. However, with me being said all that, that's all the good stuff there. I'll probably say a bit more of it, but there's stuff with this where I can understand where people won't like it. It is a 2-hour and 16-minute movie, which isn't up to everyone's taste, especially when it comes to the horror genre. Some people like a good tight 1.5 hours, and they don't want a character study, which is what this film is. It is a very in-depth character study where it shows the relationships and deep-rooted feelings of everyone who's in this movie.
We gonna kill every last one of you.
For example, in this, it takes an hour alone, about 55 minutes to an hour, before any real horror actually happens. It spends that first hour showing the relationship, showing these people's characters, showing their depths and their flaws, and showing what they are actually there in the juke joint for. And it sows the seeds for the theme of this film, which is, it is an in-depth story about, as I said before, community and being true to oneself and music and finding that thing that makes you you, for good nor ill or ill. You know, it's a big kind of thing. And there's particularly in one scene in this film alone which blew my mind. It was so well done. If you haven't heard about it already, I'm not going to talk about it now in depth, but I'm going to say it's about 50 minutes in. There's this big scene that happens, and a lot of this film revolves around music. The music is so good in this film, and it fits so well. And that scene, which lasts about 5 minutes, it's just so well done, and it lays everything down. But it doesn't pander to you. It doesn't explain everything like you're an idiot. It just talks about this thing and this concept and what is happening in metaphorical way, and it is incredible. It's not something that I expected to see, because the first 50 minutes of the entire film were in this period piece, and then all of a sudden this 5-minute music montage is happening. And this is a slight spoiler, so if anyone doesn't want to know, again, spoilers, but this film is very From Dusk Till Dawn. And by that, if you haven't seen From Dusk Till Dawn, the first hour is one thing, and then something happens really quickly, and it becomes something else entirely. It becomes like almost like two films in one, but they fit together. And that's again something that's gonna divide people. Some people might not want that juxtaposition, that, you know, that grating change can have an effect on people. They're settling into one mood and now they're suddenly in another. And some people might not like that. You know, we don't like the mood to change. Keep the mood the way it is, bruh. We've all been there. And the other thing I will say about this film that lowered the score slightly for me is it plays its hand a little bit too early. There's something that happens, like I said, that 1 hour mark is a big reveal, and something about 20 to 30 minutes maybe before happens, which kind of lets you know what's going to happen to a degree, very briefly. But I thought they could have removed that and kept that kind of ambiguity and that tension there, and it would have made that change even more impactful. And the other thing for me is some of the effects were a little bit cheesy for me.
Don't cry. It's all better now.
And they are very well done and played down. They're not in your face and stuff, except for some brief things which, for me personally, I didn't like as much. I thought it would have been better if they played it a bit more muted. But that's just my opinion there. But all in all, Sinners is a fantastic movie. It's a low budget movie. It's smashing at the box office at the minute for an R-rated horror movie. It is definitely a game changer. It's such a good film. I implore it, if you like films that are a little bit longer and they're character studies and they have something to say, and if it looks intriguing to you from watching the trailers, go and watch it. And make sure you stick around through the credits, because this has a mid-credits and an end credits. So make sure you stick around for that. But yeah, guys, that was Sinners. I really enjoyed it. What did you guys think about it? Let me know down in the comments below. I think for me personally, I reckon it's about a 7 out of 10. Just because of those little things. It brought it a little bit down for me. The length, the reveal, the effects. I just cracked my knuckle. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, guys. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about the movie. And until the next time, guys, happy watching.